This is Twit.
Microsoft General Counsel Brad Smith wrote a blog post saying Microsoft is, quote, taking steps to ensure governments use legal processes rather than technological brute force to access customer data, as well as saying government snooping potentially constitutes an advanced persistent threat. In response, Microsoft will expand encryption across services, reinforce legal protections for customer data, and enhance code transparency so customers can reassure themselves that there are no backdoors.
The Wall Street Journal reports that China Mobile has signed a deal to offer iPhones on its network. China Mobile is the world's largest mobile carrier with more than 700 million subscribers and is the last of China's 3 major carriers to offer the iPhone. The launch date is expected to coincide with a December 18th China Mobile conference in Guangzhou, where the carrier is supposed to reveal more information about its new 4G LTE network.
The Chinese government is not a fan of Bitcoin and is telling Chinese banks to not view it as money. The government says that Bitcoin is a virtual commodity that does not share the legal status of a currency. The Chinese government also says that Bitcoin is at high risk for money laundering and can be a threat to financial stability.
Security researchers at TrustWave's Spider Labs posted on Tuesday that the discovery of a database containing 1.58 million stolen usernames and passwords is associated with Facebook, Twitter, Google, Yahoo, and other accounts. The data seems to have been collected through the Pony botnet controller, which uses a keylogger to capture login data. 97% of the IP addresses associated with the credentials came from the Netherlands, though that may be due to a gateway or reverse proxy between infected machines.
Starting this Sunday, AT&T is giving no-contract, full-price paying customers better mobile share plan options that they've had previously. For example, instead of a sliding scale of monthly fees attached to the device, the fee is now $25 per month. For a single user, a standard 2 gigabyte plan would cost $80 a month, or $25 for the phone and $55 for the data. Are you following along? For contract customers, the monthly cost to add a smartphone to a plan goes to a flat rate of $40 from a previous sliding scale. So a smartphone customer with a 300 megabyte plan would get a $10 break. Compared to T-Mobile or Sprint offers, though, when you crunch the numbers, it still isn't the best deal in town.
Math is hard. Let's go shopping. Because Acer just introduced the Acer Chromebook C720p. $300 gets you a touch-enabled notebook running Chrome OS. Inside, you'll find an Intel Celeron 1.4 gigahertz processor, 2 gigs of RAM, and a 32 gigabyte SSD. The Acer C720p is the second touch-enabled Chromebook on the market. The first is the Pixel, and that costs about $1,000 more. And the C720p is available for pre-order today.
The Washington Post reports that the NSA logs location records of almost 5 billion phones each day, according to documents leaked by Edward Snowden. The agency has apparently collected 27 terabytes of location data, outpacing the agency's ability to analyze it. The paper said the system, called Co-Traveler, analyzed the data and used a fraction of 1% of it in anti-terror work. However, even users of disposable phones or who switch a handset off after a brief use can still be tracked.
AppWork, maker of popular JDownloader software, is liable for code carried out by third-party contributors, says a German court. Back in June, the software got in legal trouble over a specific feature that was present in an unofficial beta of JDownloader 2, which enabled the downloading of RTMP video streams on top of existing RTMP, and the Hamburg Regional Court decided that this represented a circumvention of effective technological measure under Section 95A of Germany's Copyright Act, and AppWork has been fined €250,000. AppWork tells Torrent Freak the judgment is a burden on the open source creative process.
Yeah, it makes things complicated for sure. Ford CEO Alan Mulally will not become the CEO of Microsoft, at least not in 2014. At least if you believe Ford board member Edsel Ford II, the great-grandson of founder Henry Ford. Bloomberg reports Edsel Ford said, "Alan is staying through the end of 2014, and that's all I know," while he was at the introduction of the new Mustang in Dearborn, Michigan. Microsoft said they plan to find a new CEO to succeed Steve Ballmer within a year. So if Mulally stays to 2014, he stays too long.
If you've got an NVIDIA Shield, good news. Some users in Northern California are receiving the Grid Beta update today. The update allows Shield owners to stream PC games to their handhelds when they are away from home. NVIDIA says you need to have an internet connection of at least 10 megabits per second for good quality.